Welcome in. We'll get started here in just a moment to give folks some time to join us. But we appreciate your participation. Go ahead and fill out the poll, and we'll get started soon. Alrighty, we're going to get started. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for filling out our poll. I'm going to go ahead and end it. Welcome, everyone. My name is Matt Dietrich. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at the Penn State School of International Affairs. Colleague Christy Percio is here as well. She's the Director of Admissions and will be largely in the chat answering your questions as we go along today. Just a few things before we get started. We are here to talk about the Master of International Affairs at Penn State University. Some of you may have questions about other degree programs here at the university, and unfortunately, we will not be able to assist. This is only for those who are interested in a Master of International Affairs. Furthermore, if you have questions throughout our time today, we welcome you to ask those questions, but please use the Q&A chat to type your questions in instead of the webinar chat, just so that we can keep up with your questions in a systematic way. If you want to wait until the very end to ask your questions, totally okay. We will answer them kind of in bulk at the end. Great. So to get started here, we are going to first talk a little bit about Penn State University and the School of International Affairs, and then we'll get into more of our curriculum. We'll talk about the admissions process. And today's focus really is on international applicants, so please stay tuned if that's you, so that you're aware of some of the nuance that comes with as an international applicant. Just some quick fast facts about SIA, and I will refer to the School of International Affairs at Penn State University as SIA, just because that is an easier way to say it. We do offer a professional master's degree in international affairs. This is different than an academic degree, which largely prepares students for PhDs or careers in academia. We really are designed to help students get jobs outside of academia, in government, non-government, nonprofit organizations, et cetera, and working in those types of career fields. We're a member of the Association of Professional Schools of International Affairs, which is just kind of a fancy way of saying that we are one of the top schools of international affairs globally, and as part of this consortium of international affairs called APSIA. We offer an interdisciplinary, flexible, and customizable curriculum in that students can choose one of 12 concentrations or create their own, which I'll go over here in just a little bit. Our faculty come from a wide range of backgrounds, whether that be working for the U.S. federal government or governments around the world, as well as economists, sociologists, folks who are experts in sustainability, media and journalism, and others. You get support from staff here at SIA. So through the admissions process, our admissions office will walk you through everything that you need in order to successfully enroll into the program, all the way up until you are seated in our building taking our classes, and then we will pass you off to our very capable staff in academic advising, career services, student support, and others. And we have an over 90% career attainment rate. It is at 93.6% within 1 year of graduation, and this has been true since 2013. When we talk about curriculum flexibility, students will be required to take the following courses within their first year, which touch on a wide variety of international affairs or topics within international affairs, including economics, diplomacy, and international law, and data analysis. When you begin to take your electives, this is where you will start to create your own concentration, or form or take classes within one of the 12 concentrations that we prescribe. You can do so by taking not only electives within the international affairs degree, but with limited opportunity to take electives in other departments across the university as well. Here at SIA, you can start or perfect a foreign language by taking classes in our language departments across campus. If you desire to start a language other than your native language and English, you can do so, but you can also perfect a language that you have studied in your undergraduate degree program or elsewhere here while getting a master's degree. Every student is required to complete a culmination project, whether that be a master's paper or an internship. Most students are choosing to do the internship just given the professional orientation of our program, although neither is right or wrong, and we provide support and assistance for both. So why should you consider coming to Penn State? Penn State is a top 100 global university, according to U.S. News and World Report, as well as topuniversities.com. Penn State does have the largest alumni association globally. It's kind of nearing the 180,000 dues-paying members of the Penn State Alumni Association, as well as probably closer to 800,000 alumni worldwide, which is important because it's not always about what you know, but about who you know. And Penn State has a wide reach in a variety of sectors and roles. In the United States, there's at least a major chapter in every there is a chapter of the Alumni Association in every major US city, pretty much. And this just provides additional touch points and networking opportunities. Penn State is a global community, and it is centrally located. You can see here on the map, it is conveniently located between at least 3 major US cities, as well as an international city in Canada, which is Toronto. We have over 70 plus international multicultural student organizations here on campus. And you can see here just some additional statistics. Penn State is located in a very safe, quintessential college town. We have really great international student enrollment. We're in the top 25 as far as international student enrollment, really the top 10. Just narrow it down even further. So Penn State is a really welcoming place for people from all over the world from varying backgrounds. When it comes to why you should consider coming to SIA, well, you get full access to this great university that I'm just got done talking about, and you get support from every angle here in our program. We do offer a 3-tiered advising approach. So every student will have an academic advisor, a career services advisor, and a faculty mentor. We will also match you up with a second-year student as you are transitioning to the area to begin classes, who can help kind of walk you through the process and just be someone that you can lean on for additional resources and assistance as you start graduate school. But also while you are a student, we will have an alumni mentor available for you if you're interested in just connecting with SIA grads outside of the program for networking and as a resource for you. We offer education abroad. I know many of you are international students, so coming to the United States is education abroad, but if you are interested in seeing the world through our program, you can do so as well. When it comes to being centrally located, we do offer career development trips to New York and Washington, D.C., and on those trips, we do have some networking opportunities with the Penn State Alumni Association and our SIA alums there as well. SIA has a tight-knit, diverse, and global community. We have students that come from all over the world. Over 50% of our students are international. So it's a very, again, like I said earlier, a very welcoming community to the international students. We're really keen on building community within our program with international affairs discussions and other student events that we hold throughout semesters. And again, our career attainment rate is really good, which just speaks to the quality of our students as well as the rigor of our program in preparing students for careers post-graduation. So now we're going to move into talking about our application requirements and how to apply. First, we need to discuss some very important deadlines. In order to be considered for merit-based scholarships, you must apply no later than December 31st, 2025 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Applying by this date is vital to your success in potentially being admitted as well as being considered for our top scholarships. The final deadline for admission is February 15, 2026. Let's just say 2026. And by this time, though, we do expect to have our class full and all scholarship distributed. So please make sure that you're applying by the December 31st deadline. If you apply after February 15th, this really is just based upon seat availability, and we will admit on a rolling basis if there are seats available. We don't expect that there will be seats available after this date, and there definitely won't be scholarship available after this date. So really just focus on December 31st so that you put yourself in the best position for scholarships and admission. So how do you apply? Well, first, go to our website. There are no tricks here. We're not trying to make things harder than they need to be. All of the information you need to successfully submit an application is on our website. The application requirements include a current resume or CV, copy of your official transcripts that show all of the coursework you've completed up until this point at the university level. We do need proof of a conferred degree at some point, but at the time of application, you can just upload a scanned copy of your official transcripts, degree certificates. For international students, we do need the English language translation. If we need the original language translation, you will need to look on our website to see if that is required for a degree from your country. We do need a statement of purpose as well. There are very specific instructions on our website, so we encourage you to look those over and follow those directions closely. We need the contact information for 2 recommenders. We prefer professors or faculty members from your undergraduate program, but if you have supervisors from a relevant professional endeavor, you can use those as well. At the end of the application, there will be supplemental questions that are required of you. Please make sure that you answer these in full. And that you do a good job on answering these questions because they will be reviewed as a part of the admissions review process. If you are not from a country that is considered English speaking by Penn State's standards, you will need to provide proof of English proficiency by IELTS or TOEFL. There is no exemption process except for if Penn State already recognizes your country as an English speaking country. Some of you may have degrees from institutions that the medium of instruction is English, but that might not matter, especially if your institution is from a non-English speaking country, again, as recognized by Penn State. So please make sure you're doing your due diligence and looking to see what Penn State will consider as exempt and what they will not. If you are submitting IELTS, we need an official score of a 6.5 overall band score, and for TOEFL, we will need a total score of an 80. Your conferred degree must be comparable to a U.S. four-year bachelor's degree. If you have a 3-year degree, we will need to see some additional education, whether that be postgraduate diploma or a 1-year master's degree. If you're from Europe and you have less than 240 ECTS credits, you will need to meet that minimum threshold of 240 in order to be eligible for admission to the Penn State Graduate School. Please check the country eligibility webpage on our website. When you go to our admissions page, you will see the country eligibility webpage for more information on what you need to submit at the time of application, depending on the country in which you've earned your degree. Next, we're going to move into talking about tuition, since this is a very important topic that many international students raise when considering which institution they will attend in the United States. So for international students, the expected billable expenses will be around $41,564 per year. This is just what Penn State will bill you for tuition and fees. You will see that there is a difference between fall and spring tuition, which I will explain here in just a minute. But that is the expected cost of tuition and fees for the first year. What will not be billed to you, but what you might expect to pay for living expenses, including rent, meals, transportation, and other costs, plus books, will be around $24,800. Again, Penn State will not ask you to pay this on a bill, but this information is required to be included on an I-20. So you must provide the financial guarantee up to the total cost of tuition and living expenses here at the university in order to meet the financial guarantee, which is necessary for the I-20. So this is why I show you this. However, the reality is, even though you need to provide those proof of funds for the I-20, you may not actually need this much money to live and survive in State College. For example, books here at SIA are not $600 per semester, but please note that this will still be included in the financial guarantee cost, even though you may not actually transfer this money out of your account for books. So with the billable and non-billable expenses, you will see a roughly $66,000 per year to attend school at Penn State. Just some caveats that we need to discuss is that the rates that I just showed you are for the current academic year. We will not know the 2026 academic year tuition and fees except by July 2026 when those are released, but you may expect about a 3% increase. So please keep that in mind as you are budgeting and preparing to save for graduate school here at Penn State. The non-billable expenses really are just estimates based on the local cost of living. So the expenses for the area that will not be billed to you by Penn State, but you should be expected to provide proof of funds for the I-20, are really just based on the local cost of living. When you compare that to other major U.S. cities or universities in other major U.S. cities, we're actually pretty inexpensive in comparison. The tuition rates that I showed you, again, you could remember that I pointed out the difference between the fall and spring semester. The tuition rates for the fall are 12 credits and for the spring, 9 credits. Anytime you increase the amount of credits you are taking from 9 to 12, you will see an increase in tuition. From 12 to 18 credits, it's the same price. International students, in order to meet the financial guarantee for 2025-2026, this number was $60,600. They do assess tuition at 9 credits. Here at the School of International Affairs, most students are taking 12 credits per semester. That's why you see our estimated cost a little higher than what you will be required to provide for the financial guarantee in order to get the I-20. They do this as a courtesy for you so that you can get the I-20 easier, even though that's still a lot of money, easier than if we assessed it at 12 credit. Moving to scholarships. Scholarships, again, will be considered for you in addition to admission if you apply by December 31st. In fall 2025, 100% of admitted students eligible for scholarship receive some form of scholarships. Scholarships are limited, they're not guaranteed, and they're completely based on the quality of your application. And they can discount your tuition up to about 60% for a really quality application. So this just means doing a really good job on the statement of purpose and making sure you're not skipping any of the questions on the application, as well as making sure that you apply by the deadline. The average scholarship is about 40 to 50% of the overall tuition. On the low end, you may see about a 30% tuition discount after scholarships are applied. You can use the scholarship that you've earned from us towards your financial guarantee to reduce the burden of the financial guarantee overall. And there are no fully funded scholarships available here at SIA. Unfortunately, we are just not provided the opportunity to fully fund any student. So please make sure that you apply by the deadline for best consideration of that 60% discount. Again, that 60% is not guaranteed. It's really just reserved for our best and top applicants. However, once you submit your application, please ensure that you are looking for external means of funding, whether that be through scholarships, grants, excuse me, I'm talking too fast, scholarships, grants, or loans that can help supplement the remainder of the tuition costs to attend our program. When it comes to no fully funded scholarships available, we also do not provide any GA or TA positions. Sometimes our students do find GA or TA positions somewhere else at the university, but you must have completed already a semester or a full year before you can be considered for any GA or TA positions in other departments. And again, as I said earlier, just begin looking for external means of funding as soon as you apply to our program, just so that any scholarship you get from us is, kind of a surprise, and you're already covered through other means. Some other important considerations. Because we expect that all of you are international prospective international applicants today, plan for the visa, immigration, and I-20 process as soon as possible, and don't delay. Once you are admitted into our program, if you're admitted into our program, begin the immigration process as soon as possible. Penn State will be sending you a lot of information to begin that process, and we just highly recommend that you don't drag your feet in doing this. We are prioritizing international applicants in the admissions process, so the sooner you apply, the sooner you'll hear back from us, so that you can begin preparing for immigration. Be aware of the visa wait times in your home country. There is a website online that the State Department of the United States has put together to give you an estimate of how long it will take for you to book an appointment for an F1 visa. So if you're admitted to our program, again, check online to see when you can book an appointment. Book that appointment as soon as you're able to do so, in case you need to give yourself more time to book another appointment in case your first visa was denied, or you're in administrative processing, or some of the other things that can cause delays. Especially given the current climate within the United States, we just want to mitigate as many delays as possible so that you can successfully arrive in August for classes. Know what to expect at a visa interview. Now, if you're admitted to our program, just do your research on what a visa officer might ask you in the interview itself. And also, if you're admitted, we'll provide you details on how to successfully pass the interview, or at least give you tips so that you can put yourself in the best position to pass the interview. One of the first things that you can do is check with your home country's Education USA office and meet with an advisor. They will give you kind of the best advice on what to expect in the interview. And then also, please peruse the Penn State ESA website for any additional information when it comes to completing the visa interview process. Explore any outside funding sources as early as you can. So right when you submit your application, just go ahead and look for any external means of funding, grants, scholarships, loans, personal funds that you can scour and save to help supplement any potential scholarship you might get from us. All right. And that was it. That's the end of our presentation today. I know a few of you joined us just seconds ago. So welcome. Sorry that you kind of missed the bulk of the presentation here. We do encourage you all to either email us, scan the QR codes to connect, or apply. The QR code to the apply page will show all of the eligibility requirements and everything you need to submit. It doesn't take you to the actual physical application, but you can also book a meeting with Christy and or myself, and we're happy to discuss our program, learn more about you, and provide any mm, kind of advice on the application, or answer any questions on the application rather. And yeah, so with that, we'd love to answer any questions that you all have. We'll just give a minute or so for you to type questions in the Q&A box if you have any. But if not, we thank you so much for your time and have a great rest of your day. And we'll just stick around for a minute to let you ask questions if you have any. And if you're feeling particularly bashful, I think you can submit questions anonymously. All right. Well, if there's no questions, we don't have to belabor the point. We do appreciate your time. If you did join us late, sorry that you missed us. We did start about 30 minutes ago, but feel free to join us for a future webinar. Someone did come in with a question here. I've done a master's in English education. Is this program suitable for me? Yeah, we have many folks who have come from backgrounds that are not directly political science or international affairs. So as long as you can make the connection as to why you want to change from English education to international affairs in your statement of purpose, then you would be a fine candidate for our program. Just make sure you're making that logical jump, or you're making it make sense why you want to make the transition. Yes, and we can just go back to that really quickly. So we do have scholarships available. You must apply by December 31st in order to be fully considered. Your application must be completed no later than December 31st. So we just recommend that you apply sooner rather than later. We don't have 100% tuition scholarships, but we expect every student to receive some form of merit-based scholarships. It's not need-based, but it is based on the quality of your application. And we don't have any GA or TA positions available to assist with tuition and living expenses. So you will need to rely on personal funds or any other external means of funding to fund the living expenses and the remainder of your tuition. All right. Well, thank you all so very much. We appreciate your time. Join us for a future webinar. If you came in late, you'll see information on that come your way. And thanks again, and have a great rest of your day. The minimum IELTS score is a 6.5. Have a great day, all. Thank you.